Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. We're going to be doing another faceless kind of review today. I hope that's okay. I just wasn't really feeling like getting on screen, but that does mean there's more room on screen for Tiara Song here, who we're going to be doing a review for today. I'm sorry about the light. I don't know what it is about her box and everything. I'm still kind of trying to figure out this new setup, so I know that like the reflection is really intense, like you can even see my finger there. But hopefully we'll just get through that. It won't be as bad once I get her out of box. So this is Tiara in box. Already looking very, very cute. I had been kind of on the fence about whether or not I wanted to purchase her from the Royal 3 lineup. I knew I wanted Tessa and I just wasn't sure about her, but I saw Tiara in person and I should have known this was going to happen because I love things with sparkles and glitter, but she has so many little like rhinestones and glittery aspects to her doll that I was immediately drawn in, so I decided to purchase her. So we're going to be taking a look at her today. The back of the box is the same as Tessa's if you saw my review on her, just a picture of the whole set of the Royal 3. I did mention this in my most recent Dolls I Don't Want video, but I am going to skip out on Minnie just because she's my least favorite of the 3 and I don't really feel particularly drawn to her, so like I don't want to spend money on her. But yeah, so that is going to be Tessa in box. I'm going to go ahead and unbox her off camera really quick, and then I will be right back to talk about all of her details and quality. See you guys in a second. Okay, got Tiara all unboxed and ready to be reviewed. She's chilling out here on her stand. She also comes with the typical rainbow high comb. And then just like Tessa, she's got a little like magazine for the Royal 3, but instead of Tessa being featured, it's Tiara this time, which like obviously makes sense because it is her doll, but I do think it's cute that there are slight changes in the booklets depending upon which character you get. She also does come with her little fan t-shirt. It's fine. I think that these t-shirts aren't like the primary selling point for me, but I do think it's cute that they are included. And then for her second outfit, she's got to start off this bodysuit, which I think is really cute. I feel like we haven't seen that many bodysuits from Rainbow High. Like I'm struggling to think of any others. So I think that that's fun. I like to have different variety of like types of clothing. And I love the turtleneck. Not on me. I feel like I'm choking when I wear turtlenecks, but on Tiara, I think it will be very cute. Then her second skirt. I love this. I think this is so pretty. Got like a little zipper detail here, but the color alone is just so beautiful. Like it's this kind of iridescent white, but printed on there also is this kind of oil slicked type of pattern. That's not just like the reflecting light, because if you see, that doesn't really change. It is kind of printed on there, but I didn't even realize that at first. Like I thought that was all reflective. I think it looks really, really cool. I love the rainbow colors, so I'm a big fan of that. And then this piece I think is so fun. It's like a half jacket and it just looks so good. First of all, the belt is like very rubbery, which I think is just always something that gets me for some reason. It does have rainbow magic sparkle printed on there, and it does have a working buckle. So you do get this piece of clothing on and off of her by loosening or tightening the belt, which I always am a sucker for doll clothing that actually functions like that. There are teeny tiny actual buttons sewn on here, which I think is just so nice. I love the pinstripe. I don't know why. I never thought of myself as like a suit jacket type of person, but I just think this looks so fun and so different. And of course, the jewel encrusted arm. How could we not love that? Like, definitely that's part of what drew me to this doll is I just love all of the sparkles. So very, very excited about this piece. I think that that's absolutely gorgeous. Her second pair of shoes are honestly pretty underwhelming to me. They're just like little black heels that honestly feel like extremely, you can probably see how thin that is. They feel extremely flimsy compared to other Rainbow High shoes. Rainbow High has done shoes kind of similar to this in the past. Like obviously a lot of the dolls have heels. So like this isn't the first time we've seen something similar to this, but this is so flimsy. Like this feels like a really cheap Barbie shoe, if you know what I mean, like Barbie, or like even honestly a knockoff, like a non-name brand dollar store doll. This feels like what their shoes would be made out of. So I don't love that. Also just the design. I do think that this strap is cute. Like I think that that's fun. It's got a very, very slight hint of iridescence to it. But the strap on the back on both of them, this is like how they came and how they're designed to be, is cut open. That was not like an error. That's not me. That's just like how they come to make it easier to put on, which great. It's easier to put on, but I also think that it just, A, isn't going to stay on then, and then B, it looks really, really bad. I am going to put her in her second outfit after we get through her first outfit here, so we'll see how bad they look on for real in a minute, but I don't have super high hopes for those. That being said, let's move on to the doll herself. Let me pop her out of her stand here. Right off the bat, her hair is really, really full of gel. Like, it's gross and sticky, which to me just doesn't make sense. I never really understand why they do this with dolls that have straight hair. Like, I understand if a doll has a curled style, you might need some gel to kind of maintain that. But like, her hair is meant to be straight. At least like out of the box, it's meant to be straight. And it's so like, this is a solid piece. That's not how hair's supposed to act. All of this is like connected by sticky gel. It's really gross. I know I go on this rant all the time, so I'm sorry, but like, it just irritates me. Let's actually just finish talking about her hair. It is very similar to, I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the LOL OMG doll that I did. The one that has like the changing fashions. I'll flash it up on the screen here, but it's very similar to her hair in that it's like not quite metallic, but it kind of gives off metallic vibes. Like, it's very shiny. I will say that the parts of her hair that don't have gel in them feel softer than the OMG's hair, so I have like more hope for this. So I think after I wash it, it'll be fine. I just like am irritated by the gel. Rooting wise, you can already see because of her box hair how it's looking, and I would say that's just, you know, pretty solid average rooting, which is good. I would rather take average than like bad, you know? So we're good there. She's got her tiara here, and honestly, like, okay, I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm just trying to be honest with y'all. I think that for a doll whose name is literally Tiara, the tiara is kind of the most boring part of her outfit, which is just fascinating to me. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm really not trying to like trash her or anything like that. I just feel like if you look at the jewels and everything she's got on her dress here, that's a lot more exciting than this. And so like, it looks fine, but you just think that like her namesake would maybe be more exciting. I don't know. Anyway, moving on down to the face. She does have slightly misplaced eyes. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it, if you're like as nitpicky as I am, but definitely these eyes are not placed evenly. That's not going to bother me on my shelf, like from afar, but yeah, kind of unfortunate. I did get her online. I didn't actually purchase her in store. Like, I realized I wanted her from seeing her in store, but I got her online and yeah, couldn't pick the best one. In this case, it kind of bit me in the butt, but you know, it happens. Otherwise though, her eyebrows and like her makeup and her lips and everything, those all look really good, which I'm happy for. And then her microphone goes like around the back of her head and kind of hooks around her ears. I think it's actually, okay, so yeah, it goes in like an earring on her ears, which is very fascinating. That's not what I was expecting, but I do think it's kind of cool because it's obviously very secure if it's like pegged into her head through her earring holes. I like that aspect a lot. And you know, you don't have to have the headband on there, or the headband isn't going to fly off. So I actually really, really love the way that they designed her microphone. Her little necklace here, very cute. Her jacket, oh my goodness. The sparkles. This is what got me, guys. I love glitter. I love shiny things, and I'm obsessed with this jacket. It's just so shiny and fun and cute. And then this underneath, okay, so this is actually a strapless dress. I thought for sure this was a shirt and a skirt, but I was wrong, definitely. This is a dress, like in the back, it's all Velcroed up together. And wow. I love the idea of this, I guess is the best way to put it. I think there's a lot of different materials in here. Obviously, all of the rhinestones I'm a big fan of. And then like the iridescent mesh in the middle is really beautiful. The ribbon detailing, I think all of that is really excellent in theory. However, I don't think the execution quite lives up to it. It's very hard to tell because she's got so much shine happening. But I do have one rhinestone that's missing here. This set of rhinestones is like offset from the ribbon, whereas this one, well, actually they're both a little bit offset from the ribbon. The ones on the top of her kind of bustier top are just a little bit off. So again, like I promise I'm not trying to be negative. I just feel like the idea is amazing, and like from afar she looks stunning, but this, at least the top half of her dress, feels like it was done almost in a very rushed way. Like it definitely wasn't placed carefully. And I do think when you're doing something like this, the rhinestones kind of have to be placed carefully. The ones on her skirt, I think, look a lot better, a lot more uniform, and a lot more like they're placed where they're supposed to be placed. But, oh, hold on. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I was wrong. I spoke too soon. I just noticed that. Okay, so where my fingertip is here, that's where her pocket starts, and this is where the rhinestone starts. You saw how little I had to move. Here, this is where the pocket starts, this is where the rhinestone starts. So again, it's not something that you notice right away. Like, I was talking about how it was fine until I noticed it. But it just is pretty obvious now with the top and bottom halves of the dress that the rhinestones especially were not placed very carefully. And again, I cannot reiterate enough. It's going to be fine in my display because, like, I'm going to look at her from this far away and I'm not going to be able to tell. It's going to be okay. But I'm sure for other people that is going to be a much bigger deal and, like, they're going to be a lot more bothered by it. And that's not anything bad. Like, if it bothers you, you have every right to be bothered by it. So yeah, I just kind of want to point that out because definitely idea, amazing. Execution, kind of iffy. Moving on down to the shoes though. They are like almost pleather boots. And this sole is connected to like the fabric part here, but then there's also this like mostly separate chain detailing piece. I am not describing this well at all, but I think the effect visually is very, very cool. It gives the shoes a very real feeling, a very 3D effect to have them be like stitched and have these separate pieces like that. So while I'm apparently just terrible at articulating today how I'm feeling about different things on this doll, I do think that the shoes actually look really, really good. I think the shoes are not my favorite design aspect of the first outfit, but they're probably the part that is the most well executed from the first outfit, which is also very important. So that has been Tiara in her first outfit here. Let's go ahead and pop her into her second and see how that looks. Okay, and here she is, mostly in her second outfit. If this looks a little bit stilted, I do have reasons why. The jacket is like half on just because I'm having issues with the skirt, so I wanted to showcase that, and it was very hard to get the jacket on over the skirt having issues. It's fine. Top half, you kind of get the gist of what she would look like, and the top half I do think is really, really cute. Let me pull her off here right quick. So looking just at this, like imagining the jacket is attached fully properly, I think the bodysuit is actually insanely cute. Like, I knew it was going to look so good on her, and I was absolutely right. Even removing this and like just looking at the bodysuit, it looks so, so cute. I also forgot to mention she does come with like a set of bracelets that she was wearing obviously before I took her hands off, and those I think are really, really cute. Like, weirdly enough, those are one of my favorite things. I think those are so precious. But oh my god, what do I even talk about first? Okay, shoes. Let's talk about the shoes first so I can take them off of her because I feel like they're gonna fall off anyway. So you can kind of see what I was talking about, where you can see the gapping around the like top straps and how uneven they are because they're separate, so there's not like a lot of structure there. And also her feet don't fit in them. Like, this is as far as I can squeeze this one. This one's definitely worse than this is, but like it's not sized correctly and they are like about to fall off. Like, that was actually pretty good. I can't believe she survived a little shake test there, but they come off very easily. They still feel very low quality. They feel like they're gonna break. So I'm gonna take those off really, really quick. And then, okay, so the skirt. You might be thinking, that looks not right. Something about this is wrong here. The skirt is definitely supposed to sit more at her waist or a little bit higher up on her hip as opposed to quite low on the hip like I've got it here. As you can see in the back, it's not even done up because you can't get it done up because this isn't where it's supposed to be sitting. But the little, like, I don't know if gusset is the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use. That little thing in here that is supposed to like keep the skirt in place that goes between her legs is cut wrong, so that this is as high as I can pull the skirt up, because when I try to pull it up higher, the gusset doesn't go up any higher. So you get this bunching in the middle where now she's at the level where I can almost close it. I still can't quite close it, probably because of the bunching here. But like, obviously that's not how it's supposed to sit. So if I want to put this doll or any other doll in this skirt, I'm going to have to cut the gusset, which means that the skirt in general is going to be more liable to ride up and not sit correctly anyway. So that's a huge disappointment because I really, really loved the skirt. I was so excited about this skirt. I was honestly planning on displaying Tiara in her first outfit and then using this skirt for a different doll. And like, I'm still going to do it because I still think it's really pretty, but it just is going to be a little bit more difficult now, which is extremely disappointing. So unfortunately, that's the note that we get to end on with Tiara. Wow. I think my favorite things are, I actually really did like these boots. They were super easy to take off, which I didn't expect and really appreciated. And I think the quality on the boots was awesome. I also love this half jacket. I think that this is one of the most quality pieces that she comes with. And I just think it looks so cool. It's such a fun design. So I'm very happy with that. And as I did mention, I like the jewelry that she comes with kind of in general. But my least favorite things were just that the quality on this is really honestly bad. Like I kept saying, I don't mean to be negative, I don't want to be nitpicky. And I was really trying to maintain a positive vibe throughout this review and try to like look on the bright side instead of focusing on the negative things about this doll. But like they just keep stacking up, from the wonky eye to the rhinestones being ill-placed to what is the worst of all in my opinion, the skirt not being wearable unless you cut something off of it. And then even these shoes, like these are honestly, like I try to keep my channel family friendly usually, but I feel like I have to use this language to express myself, so sorry in advance. But I feel like these are the shittiest shoes that Rainbow High has ever produced. These are genuinely so bad. Not even from a design point. Like I think that they're simple but cute design wise, but just in terms of the pure quality, I could snap these in half if I wanted to. And that's not what I want to feel about doll clothes. I have carpal tunnel right now and I feel like I could snap those in half. So like they're really, really bad shoes. So yeah, that's extremely disappointing. I am going to obviously like wash her and style her and do what I can to try to make her, you know, beautiful and enjoy her the way that I can, and like use her other pieces for other dolls and enjoy them the way that I can. But I think that it's going to take me a significant amount of effort to get these pieces and get her to where I want them to be. And yeah, I don't really think that's where we should have to be at. So sorry this was a negative one. That's definitely not what I was expecting when I first unboxed this doll. I thought this was going to be like a really happy, positive time. So I apologize for that if this is a bit of a downer video. But on the other hand, like if you guys are watching my videos to see how the quality is on dolls, you obviously need to know, like you guys deserve to know that if you purchase Tiara, there's a chance that this is what you're going to get. I'm not going to say that all of them are like this because that's not fair. Like I could have just gotten a really bad one, but that's definitely a risk that you're taking. So sorry for the negativity, but I hope that it was helpful. Please do let me know if you have her, if you also have experienced any of these defects, or even if you don't have her, just let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you did enjoy it, if you found it helpful, if you could give the video a like, that would be awesome. Yes, I'm doing the YouTuber spiel, sorry. But if you liked and aren't subscribed, maybe consider it because I do make doll content at least twice a week. I've got an Instagram and a Ko-Fi that you can check out if you want to support me on other platforms. So all of that, hopefully that wasn't too long-winded. Sorry, y'all. This is just like a thing that I'm doing now, I guess. But I hope you guys do have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.